Hi everyone, welcome back to Cursive Excursions. Today we are going to start with the letters E and L. As I mentioned in my first video, we are not doing the alphabet in alphabetical order. We are going to go out of order. So I thought we would start with E's and L's because they're simple loop-the-loops. Start on the bottom, go up to the dotted line, and just do a loop. I unfortunately have seen students do their letters like this. Start at the bottom, teardrop, and then kick. That makes your life a lot harder. It's just a loop-to-loop. And with any letters that we're practicing, we're going to do a lot of repetitions, just so that our hands can know what we're doing, our fingers can know what we're doing, and our brain can give them all the instructions that they need. So loop the loops. A lot of our words have double E's, so we are going to practice doing double E's. And we're just doing 2 loop-the-loops side by side. The challenge is to make them as equal as possible. So the loops themselves are the same size, and they look the same, and they start at the bottom and they go to that dotted line the same way. It takes practice. Oops. Add that one there. And now that we're getting to the end of this line, we'll practice the L's. L is very similar to the E, it's just its taller cousin. So again, we're going to start at the bottom, but this time go all the way to the top, and then basically do a straight down, and a little bit of a dip at the very end. I don't know what I want to call that. Sometimes it can become a little bit more curvy on this side. That's okay. We just wanted to make it look as much as like a regular L as possible. And remember, the difference here is that compared to the E, the L is going to the very top. It's not stopping in the middle. And try not to let it stop somewhere in between here and then go down, because then, like, is it an E? Is it an L? No one knows. So we're going to make sure that we go all the way to the top of the line. And as with E's, in English, we have a lot of words that have 2 L's side by side, like bell, like, I don't know, maybe some of the words you can think of as well. Bell was the first one that came to mind, but we know that there are several others. Tell, tall, I'm a tall person. So, 2 L's side by side. Here we go. So at this point, I'm going to switch over to the regular notebook. If you want to keep practicing on this dotted line paper, go for it. Take a pause in the video and do all the practice you want. I'll meet you over at my notebook in just a minute. Okay, so here we are at the notebook. So as I mentioned in the first video, we're going to practice writing the letters large, and then we'll practice writing them small. And then in the second part of E's and L's, we are going to practice writing some words. And there are a few words that you can come up with E's and L's, believe it or not. So here we go, E's. We're starting at the bottom, and then we're going to go to the top, and we have an E. Loop the loops. Now I know you're going to say, wait a minute, that looks like an L because you're going to the very top. I'll show you in a minute how it's going to change. When we do L's, your E's will definitely look like L. Your E's will look like L. Oh, sorry, no, that's not right. Your E's will look like E's when compared to the L's. That's what I was trying to say. So, practice the E's side by side when we have two E's in a row. Like for the vegetable beet. Or another word that starts with, that includes two E's. Can you think of one? Creek. That has two E's in the middle. Okay, now for the L's. Since we're writing our letters big, we're using two lines on the notebook paper. So the L's. Ooh, they're big. See what I mean? The L looks like L, and E looks like an E right now. And now for the two L's in a row. Okay, now we're going to practice the E's small. Here we go, little E's. Beep, little E's. They're so cute. And as we're working along, we just want to imagine that we do have that dotted line here. I know that it's tricky because there isn't actually a little dotted line there to tell us where to go, so we just have to imagine that it's there. Okay, now for our double E's. Kind of reminds me of when you're doodling. When you're bored or something, you just like to doodle little squiggles, and they're just like little squiggles, but with purpose this time. Alright, so here we go. Double L's. Actually, single L's, and in the single space first. And remember, when we're writing words in cursive, this is how tall your L's will be. Make sure they go all the way to the top and back down again. And now for L's side by side. And now we're at the end of the line. So as I said, when you had the other handwriting tablet out, if you want to keep practicing in your notebook, just doing the L's and just doing the E's, that is fine. I am going to have a part 2 to this video, which is where we are going to figure out words and things that you can write with E's and L's.